Hey guys, it's Asylum here with a review of the zombie apocalypse survival game, State of Decay 2. The main goal of the game is to build your base up, to keep your community safe, healthy, and thriving. And happy, honestly. You battle with the upkeep of your base. You're able to establish outposts which will give you daily income of certain supplies, whether it's electricity or water, medical supplies, gas, and so on. You can also construct buildings at your base to cover some of these needs, like a farm for food, a garden for food, different things like that. You're limited to the open slots available at that particular base, and on all of the maps, the bases that are the biggest, that give you the most slots, are going to cost you about 3,500 influence. Influence is the currency that the game goes off of. Supply runs are a must, and they can be very dangerous. Having a friend join you is actually a really big help. After all, if your character dies, your character is gone, and you have to figure out a way to replace them. That's why doing missions for other survivors helps improve your relationships with them, and in doing so, you can just keep them as allies, which they'll give you emergency alcohol delivery for whatever reason, drone strikes or air strikes, different things like that. But the biggest, for me, point of improving your relationship with those people is you can eventually recruit one of them to your base. It's important to constantly work on recruitment so someone can replace a character when and if they die. And they're gonna die. Somebody's gonna die. Maintaining relationships with the other survivors can be difficult at times because there are some survivors that are extremely needy. Others are just going and doing little simple things for them, like helping them find their friend. But the really needy survivors, they are constantly calling and asking for fuel, for building materials, for medical supplies, food, ammunition, and so on. And that gets really troublesome because if you need that at your base, you don't have an abundance of it, then obviously your community is going to stress because you gave them your supplies. So I was never able to recruit anybody from, or at least build up a good relationship with those people, because I couldn't see just constantly giving someone something, because if they couldn't do it on their own, then what good are they to me? At least that's the way that I looked at it. Looting houses, buildings, just random things that you find on the road, they are a must. Your equipment will break, you need items to trade, and you need items to upgrade your base, among other things. Your characters upgrade based on what you're doing, like fighting, looting, running, etc. You can actually buy or find new books for people to read that will teach them new skills. But when you do this, you have to understand that not just anybody can read every book. You actually have to have the right person reading the right book. And you'll actually find that you have to go and find somebody else to recruit that can read that book to get that book read and that skill learned. And the reason that you need those skills is because you might need them for an upgrade at your base. Like, to upgrade your comm center to a level 3, you need somebody with computer knowledge. So you obviously would be best, if you don't have one already, or anybody who can read a computer book, to go and find someone who already knows the skill and recruit that person. So in that aspect, building and maintaining relationships with people can be important. You never know who's going to die, and you never know who you're going to need. Periodically, your base gets invaded by the undead, and that can be fun, but then it can also just get old. Dismembering zombies is always satisfying. Shooting them with shotguns is always fun. In general, the fighting is fairly standard. Bludgeoning, hacking, shooting through hordes of zombies gives it a Left 4 Dead kind of feel. Fighting juggernauts, the biggest of the zombies, can be a little annoying, though them ripping your character in half is pretty freaking awesome looking. Killing the zombies is pretty straightforward and easy in general. The only challenge is a large number of zombies, juggernauts, and a feral mixed with other zombies, for the most part anyway. You can get missions from other survivors requesting aid, as I said before. You also get members of your community that have their own personal goals, so they have their personal missions that you have to go do. Like, one person for some reason wants a record player. Another person wants to go find their dead aunt. There aren't a great number of different types of missions though, so it gets kind of monotonous. Keeping your character from dying adds to the gameplay by inserting direness, especially if it's a character that you really need. Depending on how you look at it, your character dying and actually being dead could be considered a downfall or a bonus. And what I mean by that is it can add a connection to the character so that it sucks when they die. Constantly looting gets kind of old. It's super annoying that your weapons, unless it's a crossbow, bolt action rifle, or revolver, don't last long without needing repairs. I mean, a gun should last you longer and not need maintenance than, say, 10 clips. The push for realism is on point for some things, and extremely over-exaggerated on others. Following the leader's missions ends the game fairly quickly, and you have to start all over. Now, if you do start all over in this way, you do get to select a few of the members of your current community to go to the new community, and you also get a bonus based on whatever type of leader that person was. Like, the warlord leader will give you extra guns and ammo at your new base whenever you get there. Some elements, such as getting tired or having to repair and refuel your vehicle, add some realism to the game. The equipment durability takes realism away. It's like I said before, it's just not reasonable. The graphics, they're okay. They aren't the worst, but they aren't the best. The scenery is as to be expected from a zombie apocalypse game. So in conclusion, it's a short game if you're only in it to beat the game. It's not really one of those types of games though. It can be never ending. I like it even with the downfalls. For me, the repetitiveness makes it a game that I'll come back to when I feel like it. I like starting from scratch, the building, developing, and upgrading. It has an addictive element in that way for me. I recommend it on sale. Don't pay full price. And to wrap this video up, guys, please like and subscribe for more unadulterated game reviews.